I was right. I was right. What's up, Billy? Billy again, Daniel. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's get this thing started. Today we got some braces to clean up and straighten the edges up, just kind of dress the edges a little bit. And then we gotta cut some dovetails into a couple of pieces of yellow pine. So we'll do that as well. And I won't talk a whole lot. I'll be in the chat. Got a bunch of machines in this garage right now trying to work to cool this mess off. It is so hot. So hot. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. That sound is me putting bug spray on myself because not only is the heat excessive but the bugs are aggressive. Oops. You like that? That's a little bit offensive. The heat is oppressive. The lives are successive. The bugs are aggressive. Anybody want to guess when Mike will arrive? My guess is 5:49. Somewhere between now and 5:49 Eastern Time, US. I like that guess. You're probably right. It's like playing the Price is Right kind of. That doesn't feel even, man. probably true. I'm kind of working on a little bit of that now. I went to the store and got some stuff for signage. I do believe I have a big whiteboard on my. Yeah, I used oil on a wet stone for some fig. Welcome to the live stream. Some people actually call them oil stones. It works. Just make sure that your oil viscosity is thin enough to kind of sink a little bit. If you use too thick of an oil, you know, like a tung oil or linseed oil or something like that, you might end up with oil that doesn't cooperate right. I'm using grapeseed oil right now. I've used olive oil too. Is it? Welcome, Calvin with a K. I'm Calvin with a C. You know, I do believe, Christian, that tells me that you're probably in the UK because rapeseed oil is just not that common here in the US. So you're in the UK. I was right. Yeah, you just don't see rapeseed oil here. If you even say it around people, they'll giggle at you here, and it's kind of hard to describe. One of those products you don't find in this country that much. I've been watching Clarkson's farm, so he grows rape on the farm there in Wales. Yeah, it's a funny show. I don't know how I feel about Jeremy Clarkson. You know, I go back and forth. There's some crazy stuff that in the UK that you all have to deal with. That's farm wise. That's makes it very difficult to grow regular conventional products. Yeah, his car shows what made him all this money. That and hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in the UK. The people in I forget what that town is called, Crichton, Crippleton, the town that he lives in. They can't stand him. They're like, this guy. They did everything. Like a lot of them probably moved out of London. They wanted to go to a small town and live a English countryside life, and here this big wig moves in and starts bringing all this publicity there. You know, not their idea of country living. To have a restaurant and store and an Irish lady who will sell anything. Just though the Welsh are probably friendlier to the Irish than the English. You know, I don't know. You'd have to tell me if you're from the UK. Are the Welsh nicer to the Irish than the English are? Can't maximize my window. Oh, there we go. Just want to see what y'all are saying. Welcome everybody. Calvin, Christian, Billy, uh, my regulars. I think Chardonnay's in the house. Char's here. Daniel. I don't. Is Ruiz up in here? Ruiz. All my regular folks. Appreciate y'all being here. This is Dad's workshop. I think we're pretty sharp here with these tools. Make sure there's no burrs on the bottom here. Yeah, I bet. I mean, they have a lot in common, language-wise and cultural-wise. I think because they're both, Gaelic people. Love the Welsh culture, man. Only been to Wales once in my life, and it was 1999. We got here. Nigatu Fontaye, if I got that right. I hope I did. Appreciate you being here. Vitaly, old friend of the program. Welcome, Vitaly. All right. Let's get on with it. I need to take these corner braces here and I need to trim these ends a little bit. I can even see my line on there is a little bit short. I'm going to actually try my saw on this one here. I'm just telling y'all what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my mouth closed for the most of this. Kind of want this uniform here. Let's see what way I can do this. No, we just started, buddy. You're right on time, man. Speaking of people in Ireland, Vitaly. Vitaly's in Ireland. BW Wood Turning. This channel is about constructing constructing furniture using traditional methods. And I'm right now I'm timber framing, or I'm traditionally framing a bed. I'm using timber frame techniques to build a bed. Now I'll whip around and show you real quick. I don't like to change the vibe too much, but here's the project as constituted right now. It's a timber frame bed. Vitaly knows a little bit about this. This is my second one. I built a prototype, no plans, etc. And this one is my second go at it, so I can tighten up some things. Yep, it's general woodworking here. We don't. I mean, it's niche down because we use conventional lumber to build our projects. So it's all about taking conventional lumber and laminating it to get post sizes. A lot of people don't have access to sawyers and mills and custom cut lumber. I don't want to take much more off than that. Let me see what comment before Vitaly said what he said. I love that, Daniel. You're right, man. This is not Sitka spruce. This is probably white pine right here, to be honest with you. Real light. A lot of knots. Really crappy bunch of lumber I got this time, so it's working miracles with this right now. No, I've had a couple BW since I monetized. This tenon is a bit on the wide side here. And it's uneven. I have to check out your channel, BW. I like to watch wood turners. If you have a channel, I assume you have a channel. Yeah, a few donations, BW. Yep, just a few. And we've had a lot of donations in general, even before monetizing. We had a lot of gear. I'm gonna kind of let the chat answer the questions. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but a lot of my audience comes here. They want me to be quiet. So. Oh yeah, man. You know, I haven't always made that benchmark either. Occasionally, I've let it loose. In my 17 years of teaching, I cursed that I recall of, like seriously cursed and lost control twice. Once my first year and once my last year. So, imagine the hours of that. We're located on the east coast of the United States, southern east coast. Man, these don't. Oh, this one over here. If I can cut just that amount off. It's tricky. Nah, we'll chisel at it. It's a little too too small of a surface area for me to saw with. Oh, Daniel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Say something to the crowd. Say something to the crowd, Daniel, friend of the program. Appreciate the super chat, Daniel, big time friends of the show. Appreciate you, man. You are human. I am human. This is a great moment to share. Every moment is a new moment. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here, Nathaniel. Big shout out to Vitali with the super chat, 10 euros. I love to see euros come in the super chat. Thank you, Vitali. Appreciate you. Vitali, say something to the crowd about yourself. Let them know who you are, because we know who you are. Rather have 68 in here and real friends than have 150 people who are going to pop in and out. Thank you, Vitali. Early friend of the program, Vitali. Heather, make Vitali a mod too, man. And if Billy's not, make him a mod as well when you get a chance. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. You know, this is a long process here. Big time thank yous to Vitali and to Daniel for their gifts. I do not want to take a whole bunch more off of this, guys. Now the other side I think needs a little trim too. What happened? Daniel. Daniel. You get him on. You get him on. And then Tommy asked, have you ever heard about a Roman woodworking bench? Wow, I've never heard of a Roman woodworking bench, but I will do the research, man, and check it out. You know, we'll make sure that we check it out, and we have project list for sure, but we would love to look into that. Vitaly, is that something? I know you're in school right now. I don't know if I know you're kind of in school for woodworking, or that's what you wanted to do, cabinet making. So you can tell us too, since you got the super chat floor right now. You and Daniel got the floor. Tell us about Roman workbenches. Oh, Daniel. Oh, we're losing you. All right, that's okay. Appreciate the gift, Daniel. Know we love you. Appreciate you. Got something coming your way soon, anyway. Just a little. It's nothing much. Nothing like what you've done for us. I mean, I wish I could match that. That's mine. Did you? Oh no, you need your water. It is too hot for not having water. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all being here today. This is Dad's workshop right now. We're working on a corner brace here. The corner braces are a little oversized at the moment, which is the way I designed them, so that they would, when I got them down to size, they would I could I wouldn't have to worry about recutting them because they wouldn't be too short. I'm gonna take this little chunk off of here, make a little cut right here. Maybe if Mike or one of them really knowledgeable guys pops in the chat, they'll be able to tell me what a Roman woodworking bench is. There he is. Was Heather right on the minute? She said 6:09, dude. Right on that minute. Heather's trying to find her water right now. It's super hot out here. You were 6:09. You hit it exactly on the button. That's crazy. The guess was Mike. When would Mike arrive? And I guessed like 15 minutes ago, so I was totally wrong. But Heather guessed the exact time that you showed up. All right. I want to square that up a bit. Sorry about that, folks. I want to shout out Vitaly and Daniel one more time for giving us super chat donations, big time donations, and making sure I get everybody who did. Daniel, Vitaly, and then we got a couple last time. I think it was potentially Ruiz, and so I just appreciate my friends of the program. Start calling y'all joiners since you joined the program and we joined Wood. So I determined joiners is what I want to call y'all. I didn't want to call y'all children because like that was kind of like silly. But we were working on names for our regs here. What you hear right now is me sizing this brace in here. That's why I didn't put it on camera because it's tricky. told y'all before, I did not cut brace housing here, so they got to meet flush against the post. And show y'all how to cut brace housing. Well, I think I'm kind of wasting my breath if I do that. When you lay out the brace, you have to take a measurement right here, run that line all the way across the bottom, and then cut another 45-degree angle against that. That's the way it sits into the post. Something I neglected to do. Just lost my pipe clamp too. Hit the camera. This thing is a pain. Got a piece of wood chip in my shoe. There we go. It's gone. All right. I'm going to take just a hair from this side here. Telling me, man. Just reading the chat, folks. Still looks a hair too long, man. Use my big mallet. I know you see that tenon popping out, but it shouldn't be like that, as you know. This is oh, that's not bad right there. Oh yeah, Vitaly, you like Mike's channel a lot, man. Yeah, you definitely like Mike's channel. All right, I got these two little wedges here. Remember we cut these the other day? They're gonna go in there. They're gonna push this thing taut. Right? Uh-oh. The spider was crawling on me earlier. Oh, that's great, man. That's tight. I don't even care if I don't get viewers tonight. Y'all hear me? No, I do. I do want viewers. But that for me is not bad. And you see the pin in there holding it in place. Right? Same with this right here. It's like a two-sided wedge. Right here. And you just hammer it to tautness. Got one more over here we'll do. I still have to make one of these too. I have one that's missing. This one's a bit tight. Nope. This is tricky here. I'm lined up. It's got to be a little tighter. So this is why you don't do live. All right, that one's in place. Let's put this in another spot. As long as it's applying pressure to it. This one might have to be a hair bigger here. No, that's all right. About a 1/4 inch off. So I might recut those wedges so that when it pulls tight, you see there's a little, I must have hit it with an angle grinder or something right there. That little spot. But yeah, it's pulling that tight and then it holds the brace in place. So really important that those be fit well. These are cut so that there's like 3 millimeters of space, and that's going to take that space up. It's going to push that 3 millimeters of space away. Yeah. So love doing this stuff, man. Well, I'm glad y'all are with me to enjoy traditional joinery, which I mean, I can't get enough of it, to be honest. You know. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with Zippo lighters. Couldn't get enough of them. Was way too young to be obsessed with them. All sorts of them, and I've always been like that, a little bit on the autistic side, you know, hyper focus and all that stuff. Skipping the live so I can see what y'all said. All right, folks, moving on to the next segment here. We got these pieces of SYP. That's nerdy woodworker talk for Southern Yellow Pine. wonder what happened to my other protractor. I might just have to use this one. Hot does not describe this. 2 7/8 inches. I'm gonna have to do it from this side here. See, there's a little bark and some imperfections on this piece. I'm not too happy about that, but we'll make it work anyway. Actually, we're gonna lay it out over here. Mike's got a pretty well-rounded knowledge of tools and machines, the craft itself, techniques. Not to answer for him, I'll let him answer. But he's a wealth of knowledge of a lot of stuff. Let's do this 2 7/8 inches. When they say measure twice, cut once, sometimes it's not as simple as just measure twice. You want to size it up against something if you have that there. You know, what the woodworkers taught me, that I learned from is they don't just mean lay it out with a ruler. If you have another way to measure, kind of checks and balances. The way I'm laying these 75-degree angles out is that I am running them all the way to the edge, even though it's chamfered. I'm running them to the edge of the 2x4, and I'll show you in a second. I usually like to keep 2 protractors because moving the protractor back and forth leads to mistakes, but just double check it. Sorry, y'all. That second line's not very good, but just to show you all, especially since the corner is hard to find here. I lost my other protractor, babe. Somehow. All I can do is sweat. I can't do anything but sweat. Roman woodworking benches are low to the ground without license, affordable, and compact, designed to complete any traditional woodworking sit-in. Now, one of those. I've seen those. I have seen those. It's almost like a cobbler's bench. Yeah, so it's in between. You can sit or you can stand on it. Yeah, so Vitaly, what that reminds me of is actually like a cobbler's bench, cobbler or shoemaker. They would sit on similar benches. I guess you kind of straddle them. I'm gonna take a look at that. It's something I would like to make on the program. Hey, Paul, welcome from Minnesota, Paul Oman, regular friend of the program. Paul, welcome. It's an awful late lunch. Oh, Paul was a cabinet maker, right? Am I right, Paul? I got a viewer right now that's he's a younger guy. He's trying to get into cabinet making. We've had him on here for a long time. Oh, I see. Appreciate you being here, Paul. We're having a good day here. A lot of regulars showing up, kind of celebrating getting our 1,000th sub. So we're you know very excited with bated. Kind of anticipate. You've got a lot of work to do to make this channel what it should be. No question about it. Man, this guy sold me some crap wood. I'm gonna have to work miracles with this stuff. Only thing about this wood that's good is the grain direction. What I'm doing right now is laying out a 75-degree angle dovetail. And see, I didn't set my, this is why I got to be careful. My eraser right here. 75-degree angle to the corner. Make it simple. And then each mortise that I cut into the bed, because these will be rungs, will be individually cut for each dovetail, because I can't, there's no way that each one's going to be the same, having been cut by my hand. I just have to make sure each mortise is tailor fit for each dovetail. I mean, you have some polymath like characteristics to your personality for sure. If you all don't know what a polymath is, a polymath is someone who is an expert in multiple fields. Not just good at multiple things, an expert in multiple disciplines. Traditional polymath, Leonardo da Vinci, right? The most famous polymath. But I can think of a couple more. Somebody know that actress that she was a very famous actress in the silver screen era. She actually only died a couple years ago. She was very old. She developed the machine that decoded the German Enigma code. She was an actress. She had nobody had any reason to suspect that she could come up with a machine that could break the Enigma code, and she did. She's a genius and a polymath. Teddy Lamar, that's it, Mike. You got it. Brilliant woman, man. She actually started her life in Europe. She's a Jew, but she was dating a man in Austria who was a Nazi and would wear a Nazi pin on his chest. She went to Nazi parties and actually met Hitler. And then she moved to the United States because she knew what time it was. And here in the United States, she was a beautiful starlet, is what she was, actress on the screen. But nobody knew what kind of brain she had. She had an incredibly smart mind. Squatty Funelerio. Muito. I don't know that. I think that may be Brazil, Portuguese. So welcome, probably from Brazil, where I have like 10% of my audience apparently. Welcome. Thank you for being here. How do you say thank you in Portuguese? Obrigado. Obrigado. Man, I love Brian May. That guitar he built, best guitar ever built. And it was good woodworking, is what it was. I just watched Christopher Lee in something. I can't remember what it was. See that this poor quality lumber, right? This is poor quality lumber, but it's better than the quality of the rungs on most people's beds. So it'll be enough. We're just going to cut it right, get the dovetail straight, and we'll put the curved side up. Nah, this is moved. Oh, it didn't. That's good. Also, the keyboard is for the keyboard is for Iron Butterfly. Google him, man. He disappeared too. So a lot of people think he had like this he had like the math worked out for traveling up to the speed of light, and then he disappeared in the desert. We don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. Keyboardist for organist for Iron Butterfly. No, I have not made. I didn't even know what a Roman woodworking bench was until you said that. But now that I look at it, it looks similar to a cobbler's bench. I probably could make one, Vitali, if you stick around, you know. And I've got one project lined up next, which is I want to do a floating waterfall table. And what else did I say I wanted to do? I had a couple other things before I go on to like making a timber frame tiny house out of 2x4s, which is really my ultimate goal. Um, to actually make a house kit in the shop. But yeah, next project's floating waterfall table. Had a couple other things I can't remember at the moment. I wanted to make mallets for viewers too, and give away mallets. But I would love to make a Roman woodworking bench and then do lives from it if it was possible. I know, man. I feel like when you do this long enough, you can tell when your own lines aren't drawn straight. So like that shoulder line's not drawn straight. But I'm gonna correct that problem right now. I'm gonna take a water break and then I'm gonna do about an hour where I don't talk. So any questions, especially especially folks that donated in the super chat, I will definitely try to get to your answers to your questions. I won't just ignore you, but I do have to do some time of just being quiet. Yeah. All right. This is Dad's workshop. Take a quick water break and be right back to it. Before I shut my mouth, it doesn't really matter right now. I'll say one more thing. Um, if you watch Raja, shout out to Raja. Shout out to Raja, everybody. I watched Raja this morning and I realized that Raja probably turns about 300 handles a day based on my math. Um, just thought that was amazing that a guy could, grind like that. Anyway, welcome to Dad's workshop where we're going to cut these dovetails in here the old fashioned way. It's going to irritate the mess out of Mike because he's going to want me to saw it the easy way. But, we don't do it like that here. We take the hard way. So, Billy was there this morning. I said 100 at first, and then I did some mental math. And I realized that Raja probably turns about 300 handles a day, if not more. So, check out Raja's page, a guy who works really hard. Nice guy. Here we go with the Zoom. now. So. Oh, a little far. There's a knot over here, and this is going to have to be a custom one anyway because of the imperfections in the wood. Same with me, Charlie. I'm the same way. George Nakashima is my favorite. As I've said many times. This movie's closer to the folk community. I'm going to change the Look at that. I don't know if this is fit. I don't know if this is fit to use, man. This wonky grain right here. The wonky grain blew out into the dovetail area. I'm like not even convinced I can use this. Look at that piece fall out. I mean, I could try, dude, but I don't know if I want anything supporting my children that have breakable knots like that. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Take this one, put this on the back burner for a minute. trying to let the work speak for itself here. I'm about to do something I rarely do here, and that is get my jigsaw out. And these are so knotty. I'm afraid they're going to blow out, and I don't want to waste an hour of time doing it. So give me 1 second to grab my jigsaw. definitely better. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. I mean, there is a pain to use a hand. I gotta get my mic. Yeah, you know I love the power tools. Just not all the audience does. Trying to stay true to this thing too. I use this minimal amount of power tools, but that doesn't mean I use none. I think I would have blown out the side like I did on that last dovetail if I didn't use the jigsaw. It was just going to blow it out. Okay, I'm game. Shoot. I have been meaning to do that. We can do that right now. Yeah, both my mallets I made myself. Petroleum lubricant. you have it, folks. How to make your vise not squeaky. Use a generic petroleum lubricant. See? Next to mic, we're silent mode. That's what I used to use a lot of. Graphite. I kind of like the sound. It's getting a little bit fond of it. This sounds so beautiful. It's so sharp. Let me put this right here. This chisel is ridiculously sharp. Honestly, Mike is probably better for the thing. I was probably wearing something out doing that, so appreciate the heads up. You're right. It needed to be lubricated. I was just about to bring up your conspicuous absence, Shar. These knotty pieces of wood, if they don't have like a little bit of chamfering on the edge and they catch anything, they'll snap the whole pin off. What? I guess now I am. Yes, I would say I am a full-time woodworker. Yes. Yeah. So before I wasn't, but now I am. I opened up my schedule. Yeah. Vitaly hasn't been here on one of the smoking hot days where we're carrying 100. You know, this is pretty big group for him. He was here in the early days when we had 8 or 9, 7. You know, just him sometimes. I do too, man. I love it. Commissions like for building right now. Like Mike had a guest on his show the other day that was talking about a family member who built a table and all joinery and how he didn't have any nails in it, and it was something he wouldn't have been able to do for money because the money is just you can't make enough money um, unless somebody's willing to pay you what you're worth. You know. So sorry to lose viewers, but I really don't care. I'm just going to say what I have to say here. Um, uh, so Mike's guest, and I'm sorry if I can't recall the man's name. He was the dude with the boxes. Um, he he was talking about the joinery piece and how it's a lost art because no one really cares about whether stuff is joined or not. They just want quick stuff. It's the same reason we buy cheap clothes. We want to get something cheap now. We're not worried about quality. So I would have to find somebody, a client, and I've done this in the past. I've sold pieces to people, and like the last coffee table I sold, I asked for 500 and the lady gave me like 725 for it. I mean, she insisted on paying me more. So that's what I mean by oh, that was Bearded Viking. I didn't realize that was him. He looked different on the stream. I check his stream out sometime. Um, but yeah, like this piece right here, this bunk bed. If I was to make this for somebody who was paying commission and is actually for a family member now, I couldn't take less than $3,000 or $4,000. Just think about the amount of time I'm spending on. Oh yeah, Randy probably might. I didn't think it was Bearded Viking. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he had some really insightful things to say. One of those was that there's not a huge market for joinery because people aren't willing to pay for it. So you have to be willing to pay for it. So like I couldn't take less than a couple $1,000. So I'd rather build it for free for people and just take the materials and do it on my live stream. And it gives me something to do on here. It's a challenge. I came up with the design myself, and so mastering it is, you know, something I'm okay with doing. And maybe somebody will offer me 5 or 10 grand for a bunk bed because they're rich and they want to have a fancy bunk bed for their kids, and maybe they won't. I keep going regardless, just making pieces. My parents' house, they have like 4,000 square feet in their main house, and it's full of of pieces of my furniture. I mean, going back over a decade. So um, I'll build them. If you build it, they will come. Thanks for being here, everybody. Just a little bit of softening of these edges. Yeah. One more thing I want to do, and that's make my final set of pins for my upper tie beams. Building any kind of bed, you never want more than about 2.5 or 3 inches between slats. Something I learned through making multiple beds and making mistakes. True story. In the Holocaust, they took all the Jews' clothing, and often they took their shoes, or their shoes rotted out. And in the Dutch concentration camps, like Westerbork and some of those, they gave the Jews wooden clogs. And there was an interview I saw where the lady said that she saw people die because their feet got torn up and then they got infections. So she went barefoot instead of wearing the wooden clogs. Thought that was an interest. Oh, welcome, Raja. Interesting thing to be able to pick up on that. Let's do another 5 millimeters. tally. Use some sort of way to scale it out, like graph paper, and then look at and learn a CAD program, like SketchUp or Tinkercad, one of the free ones. I still love to sketch out houses. Till I build one myself, I'm not going to give up on that dream. Little blowout issue here on this one, but I don't think it's going to matter. These don't even need to be perfect, just relatively close. Do this. Channel I was trying to think of earlier was Homemade by Ron. Homemade by Ron. Has anybody seen that channel? This guy's talented, man. Hope he pops in here one night so I can sing his praises in front of everybody. He will. the other way. By the way, this is ash wood here. Very straight grained ash. I have these really kind of high quality 1x3 ash boards. And I find that this is really good for pins. Very strong, bites really easily. So Tally, I'm going to show you something in a second. Trying to find notes that have metric system on them. Here I have the notes written in. This is one of my posts laid out with the measurements, but it's only one side and then the brace. And I've got 7/16. This is an opportunity to use metric, right? But graph paper, man. This is a design for a floating waterfall table, just done on graph paper. It's kind of hard for you to see from there. But I have all of the measurements written out. This is in inches, but everything is mapped out on graph paper. So there is the old-fashioned way as well. I don't know what die ash is actually. See, the problem was like you all sent us some kind of a bug that was over there not killing y'all's ash forest and then came over here. I want to say that came from England or from Great Britain. And then all our ash basically started dying out because there's fungus that was spread by this beetle. One second while I check this. I don't want to try to hammer it in and blow out my post while I'm on live. All right. So I'm gonna have to saw these vertically through my bandsaw or do it with a hand saw to take out just the tiniest bit of material, but I don't think it's worth it to rip cut it for me. So I think I'm gonna take it through the bandsaw. And I don't know if I should do that on live stream because I have to unplug all my lights and stuff like that. So it might be about the point where I wrap it up for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stand in front of the bed when I give you all my salutations and all the goodbyes and shout outs. I guess I should probably start because there's a lot of y'all. And we will be back tomorrow night, of course, with more Dad's Workshop. I have to look that up, Vitaly. I'm not even familiar with that. Let me just say a huge thank you to all my friends and all my family, this community, everybody who's been involved with promoting Dad's Workshop. who's hung out with us here at Dad's Workshop, especially my folks, my right hand, Miss Heather, Shar, Diego Ruiz, Daniel Gandara, Billy, who's here every day now. Mike is making stuff. I mean, the list really goes on and on. If I leave people out, Vitaly, I'm so happy to have you back. Glad you're getting time to come back again. Let me go back to my chat. I didn't see Robert G today. I did see Paul from Minnesota, um, Brian from down south. Welcome back, Brian. Raja came through. Love it when Raja comes through. So all y'all, Billy, Vitaly, Heather, Chardonnay, Diego Ruiz, Daniel Gandara, Mike is making stuff, and everybody else, Raja and the whole crew, Billy, everybody. Appreciate you all being here. Of course, I go to as much as I can get and as much I can consume of other people's woodwork. I go to and try to really participate. But this community means a lot to me. It's the reason we were able to get to our 1,000 subscribers and monetization level. And we're so happy to be there. We're so happy to have you and have this opportunity and this platform to do this. Um, like I say every day, hug someone you love, do the next right thing, and please come back and see me here at Dad's Workshop tomorrow. Love you all. Goodbye.